folks, today we are going to be talking about Deeper Network. Now, Deeper Network just recently released, and we're going to go through it line by line and update it to their mining program. Now, I have two Deeper Network devices. I have both a Mini and I have a Pico device, both of which are currently mining. And so I have a vested interest in this particular program and what they're going to do. Now, in full transparency, I have not yet made an assessment on what I believe is ultimately, if this is ultimately good or bad for the protocol, but we are going to go line by line through their announcement and their blog that Eric Ma, who I think his official title is the Chief Evangelist, for the program. And so we're going to take a look, and I'm going to let you decide for yourself whether or not you think Deeper Network has a future, or whether or not really this could kill the protocol. So let's get right into the screen share. Okay. So here we are. So this did come out yesterday, and this is the Deeper Network Easy Mining Protocol. And so what is easy mining? Easy mining is simply a natural progression of many mining programs which evolved to become a more sustainable version of the mining programs that came before it. So think about it from a halving perspective. And so that is certainly something that you really could think about it, even though it's not exactly halving, but I think it's within that same kind of theoretical framework of halving programs. Now, easy mining already has a feature that allows the APY to become adjustable every 3 months, depending on network conditions, which existed already in Basic Mining 2.0. And so there are no changes there. Easy mining will be launched on September 1st. And so from the time of this recording, it's going to be about 8 days, and enrollment to Basic Mining 2.0 will end at the same time. Now, I'm in Basic Mining 1.0, at least on my Mini device. I'm not there with the Genesis device, or not the Genesis, the Pico device there. So under Easy Mining, new users will deposit USDC directly into Deeper Network's Easy Mining staking portal. Then on the back end, the USDC will be used to purchase DPR from the secondary market using real-time market price. This will make the staking process easier, especially for those new to cryptocurrency. Now, for me, there's some interesting things here as I try to interpret that particular paragraph. This will make the staking process easier. I don't necessarily fundamentally disagree with that, but there needs likely to be a reason that is beneficial to DPR in order to purchase it off the secondary market. And I'd be interested to know kind of from the dev perspective what that is. Now, the number of DPR staked will be displayed on the BSC staking platform. The initial investment into Deeper Network mining will no longer be dictated by fluctuations of DPR in the secondary market, making the initial investment to mine impossible for some. And so there you go. That's what I think part of it was. Let's say that your 10,000, you want to get to 200 credit score and you need to stake the 10,000 DPR, right? So at $1, that's $10,000, and you don't get that level of, that's going to be just out of reach for a lot of folks. $1,000 is probably reachable, at least over the course of a couple of months, to most folks. And so it seems that may be maybe a possibility, if you will, for us to grow the network. Okay. Now, this is also really important. Now, new users can invest as little as 50 USDC, so $50, or up to a maximum of 1,000 USDC in easy mining. This amount in USDC is set for each credit tier, and the quantity of actual DPR staked will, of course, vary depending on market conditions. The market price of DPR. This makes the price entry point into Deeper Network mining consistent for all users at all times. This information, along with APY and ROI, can be more clearly understood looking at the table below. So let's take a look at this table. So let's say you stake $50. DPR, for an example, is 2.5 cents, which was currently around where I anticipate these conversations started. Now, APY is eligible for mining, but at $50, you don't get, anything. But at 100, you would get 20%, 200, you get 30%, all the way to 1,000 USDC, 800 credit tier at 60%. So an ROI on a Pico at 250 MSRP would be 152 days. Okay. DPR earning per day, you're going to get 65. And so you're going to be able to see, you're going to increase the DPR significantly. Going to increase that significantly. So a couple of points that they want to ensure that we point out. The lower the DPR, the lower the price of DPR, the more a user's USDC can purchase a stake. Conversely, and by definition, this makes sense. The higher the price of DPR, the less a user's stake, the less a user's USDC can purchase and stake. APY is applied to the number of staked DPR. This number will be your annual mining reward. The higher the price of DPR, the faster the return of investment. Of course, that makes sense. The maximum value for staking is 1,000 USDC in DPR. The lowest staking value is 50 USDC in DPR. Staking standard equals fiat currency standard or USDC, and DPR APY earnings are going to adjust from 20% to 60%. So early miners, ROI estimation, you can see the chart here, anything from 2,433 days to 15.2. Again, this is valued at 2 cents. This goes all the way up to 25 cents. I'd be fine with a DPR price of 25 cents. I've been dollar cost averaging all the way down, into the low twos. And so that's a reality as well. Notable features of EZ mining: lower entry barrier with USDC deposits, and that's probably true. Initial investment is fixed for each till regardless of DPR market price. Okay, so how will current miners transition? If you're a Genesis node, you have that. Basic mining 1.0, here's where I'm at. If the user staking term ends before September 1st, they will automatically be entered into basic mining 2.0 for a 3-month term. After that, the user will be entered directly into EZ mining for a 6-month term where users can unstake at any time. If user staking term ends after September 1st, they will be entered directly into EZ mining for a 9-month term upon completion of their official term. Basic mining, all basic mining 2.0 users will be entered into EZ mining on December the 1st for a 6-month term where users can unstake at any time. EZ mining, all miners staking on or after September 1st, 2022, so in 8 days, will take part in EZ mining for a 9-month term where users can unstake at any time. New users will, of course, as we just talked about, deposit EZ mining, USDC on the EZ mining staking protocol. Okay, all mining programs will be aligned into EZ mining by June the 1st. Now, one of the big things that was happening in the Discord was a lot of conversation around these Genesis nodes, right? And so there was a lot of conversation around what do we do with these Genesis nodes? And so from what we understand, Eric Ma went to bat for these Genesis nodes. I don't think it, hurts that he probably was a Genesis miner as well. Will the APY change every 3 months into the future? They're saying it's unlikely to change as long as mining rewards paid out don't exceed mining allocations for that term. And so you can see the new proof of work, which is coming, proof of credit, and then a validator. So we'll be interested to see what happens with the it's essentially next generation proof of work here. Okay, you can see the mining affiliate. I'm not going to talk about that, but this is something that I want to talk about. What is the future of deeper network mining? So currently, under the proof of credit consensus algorithm, deeper network users can earn DPR for sharing their bandwidth. However, new ways of incentivizing deeper network users are coming in late 2022. I'm excited to see what those are. A new and additional consensus algorithm called NPOW, or New Generation Proof of Work, will soon be implemented on the deeper chain. This new algorithm will allow nodes to share their IPs and say, this is interesting, I think this is new, to carry out important functions such as system stress testing, IP-related platform support, and other third-party IP marketplace needs. In addition, EZC, a non-tradable stablecoin that can be purchased via traditional payment methods such as credit cards, will allow the purchase of DPR from the secondary market and portions of it burned. We're all in on burning DPR. Right. The remaining DPR will be stored in a treasury wallet to be used for project development. Now, under the condition that new users continue to join the network and more traction is gained as a project as a whole, this will have a positive chain effect on DPR and the entire ecosystem. Let's go off of screen share. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that DPR are making moves. Now, will this ultimately be a good thing? I don't know. I know that a lot of these Genesis users are pretty upset right now. And I get it. I get being upset. We'll see what happens here. I do think that it's interesting that we are, though, moving forward in some really exciting ways. Obviously, we know that a lot of the high APYs just aren't sustainable for a long term. And this is where I kind of differ. Any move towards sustainability for me, I think, is ultimately a good thing. You just have to juxtapose the idea that just have to juxtapose this idea of not upsetting some of the initial users and slowing momentum, right? So you need to make sure that you're just not going to kill momentum on the project by upsetting a current user base. Now, if that doesn't happen, then I think these changes are ultimately really good for the deeper network. If we ultimately see, though, that folks unstake or there isn't as much support for the network, then I think we're going to be hurting in a lot of really unfortunate ways. So it's ultimately where I land. I'm going to continue mining on the deeper network. In fact, I might even pick up, especially if, DPR goes to Ascent, I might pick up, a decent amount of DPR just to see what happens as a spec position here. There is fundamental work that's going to happen. And perhaps if we see some really good stuff going into the next bull market, this could end up being a really fantastic investment. So those are my thoughts on the deeper network. I'd be curious what your thoughts are on the deeper network with this change. Are you excited about these changes? I think I am. I think that's where I'm going to end up landing. All right, folks, take care, and we will see each of you very soon in our next video.